I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
What the hell's going on out here? Out! Out!
2 L, 1 pod. Wait, hold on.
3 truck.
2 L's, 1 pod. With a spin-off of the web series The Two Dicks. Available on YouTube. Check it out. I'm Al Romas. That's Al Ducharme. We're in Tampa, Florida today. In person. We're potting. We're having coffee. We're having cigars. Little nubs for the morning. A little morning stick. Al just walked off the enchantment of the seas. Royal Caribbean. And we're going to take him over to the airport. It's across the street. He'll be flying home to Los Angeles tonight. And got a connection through Dallas, I believe.
I'm going to be going through Dallas, but let me interrupt. We have a refrigerator, a Cisco refrigerator truck, and they just kicked on the compressors, so they're revving up the diesel engine. And there's going to be some, I don't know how loud it is. Can you see it in the reflection? Yeah, see it right here with the avocado. We're dealing with that. Now, hopefully these mics will filter a little bit of it out, but so be it. We just want you to know that we're making a valiant effort to bringing you an in-person podcast. We're talking about disembarking ships and going to airports and in between, and I might be late for my flight.
And this is why you want to be on the Patreon, so you can see this.
You can see all this shit.
Your money goes to buying us better microphones to broadcast for you. So help us help you.
Yeah, these
what we're
nubs,
saying.
they're not, because they're half the size, they're not half the price. It's like 70% of a full cigar. So they love selling these nubs. But this is perfect for the morning.
These are good morning with a coffee. Also, great little dog walking stick. If you walk your dog, you take a nub.
40 minutes.
And you did a nice walk. You got a cigar in, and your dog is happy. Everyone's happy.
Everyone's happy.
You never see a fat dog owner and a thin dog. They go together. You got a fat dog, you got a fat owner. You got a thin dog, you got a thin owner.
Master of the obvious.
Moto. Thank you, Moto. Yes.
I like your farmer stand. Like
That's
Show
from the
the
ship.
pipes.
From the ship,
From the
having a
ship.
cigar in the sun. That's it. Look, that's it. My son goes.
My dad used to do the elbow out of his pickup truck.
Right.
Like this, and it was like, and he was, he was half Portuguese. I'm 1/3, and it was like completely like, Dad, are you?
Isn't that where redneck comes from?
Yeah.
You guys working outside.
Redneck, and then
you get your redneck, and you're a bit of a hillbilly-ish.
And my dad used to, he used to paint houses when he was a younger man. He had a crew, his own business, but he'd be out there without a shirt, just like years of sun, no sunscreen.
Did it look like a catcher's mitt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, he had a couple of things removed, and because he was running his own business,
That was after
he started to delegate, hire more guys, and he was in the sun a lot less. But then he took up fishing in retirement. He always had that, and then the fishing. But he always wore a hat.
Big hat.
Usually a baseball cap, but sometimes he had a bucket hat.
I've seen you sporting some
I
weird
did because
Congo
my dad had things removed, and I also had something removed here, a little basal cell. So
I had something removed about 5 years ago.
was that your act?
No, it was the ex-wife. It felt God damn it.
Pow!
Clip and burn and fuck.
Look at this.
I set this guy up
Look how
so
white this is.
beautifully.
You
so.
do. I know, but I'm dealing with a
And
lot
you
of stuff.
froze.
I got the compressor from the truck. I got my flight. This is going to be a shorty today.
You just had a show last night.
I did.
A killer late night adult comedy.
10:45 show on a late night adult show on a family Christmas holiday cruise.
How adult do you go on that? What are we talking here?
I tell them that I'm dirty up front. It's 18 plus. And some people will bring their 17-year-olds.
What do you mean you tell them that? When does that happen?
The CD will come out and say, this is an adult program, 18 plus, so you may hear some language.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. If you are easily offended, you may want to just be a good time for you to leave. If not, you know, and people going, yeah, we're staying. And
Well, you're not really dirty.
I'm not, but when I come out, I pretend I'm going to be dirty.
How do you pretend? That's what I'm asking.
I'll say, hey, like the cruise director said, it's actually written on the wall over here, and I'll walk over and I go, it says, I don't have my glasses on, it says, if you are easily offended, we highly recommend that you drag your pussy ass back to your cabin and finger yourself.
You say that?
Yes.
Oh, that's very good.
And then they go, whoa, ooh, and I look around, I go, usually we lose a half a dozen right there. Anybody? You guys gonna stick it out? And they go, yeah, and then I'm not dirty after that. And then some people are waiting for it.
That's good.
They're waiting for it. And then some people come up after the show and say, we were waiting for you to be dirty and you weren't. I go, we were disappointed. You go, no, we had fun, but we were anticipating it.
It is weird when people are disappointed that they didn't hear the word fuck enough for them. Like, it's kind of a weird thing, you know what I mean? Either it's funny or not. I don't know why you need the word. I mean, I like to curse, but you don't have to hear it. But that's a good opening, at least. You're dirty right out of the box. You get them. That's good.
I'm trying to avoid any complaints from somebody. We brought our niece in there.
Right.
Our 14-year-old niece, or our granddaughter. And you went too far, but that hasn't really happened.
No, it is a weird thing, though. It's very divided. The people want it. Oh, I was disappointed. I thought it'd be really dirty. Or it's all words, though. Topics are different because I don't talk about sex, but I say the word fuck a lot. People have said to me, we liked it because it was clean.
Right. Because your
not
subject matter isn't
ass or anything.
Right.
But to them, the word fuck isn't anything.
It's a part of our everyday vernacular.
Yeah.
It's a descriptive word. I still get a little weirded out.
When I see that, I get weirded out.
I still get a little uncomfortable and a little angry when there is a family and there are kids and some guy sitting over here on the other side is going, so that motherfucker, and you see the parents and the kids are like, I'm feeling uncomfortable. It's like, I feel like they're doing it even more because there's a family.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little disrespectful.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's in public.
It's but like in the comedy club on the ship, they say 18 and over, but sometimes we get like an 80-year-old couple in the front row, and the guy will be up there talking about eating ass and shit, and you go, I know it's your act and it's adult, but don't you feel weird saying that?
Know your audience.
I would feel weird in front of two 80-year-olds.
I can't do it.
I couldn't either.
I could eat their ass before I could say eating ass.
I don't know. 80-year-old ass.
That was a little bit too much.
I'm just had a meal and
Test 1, 2.
we went back to Mom's again today.
We did go back to Mom's, a wonderful little Greasy Spoon diner, which is, I'm at home. It reminds me of New England or New York. Just go in, great service. They know it's about volume, in and out.
Al forgot his wallet.
All right, fellas, what you want? Oh, I forgot my wallet. It's actually in your truck. It's been great. He bought me a cigar.
Yeah.
He bought me a cappuccino.
Yeah, I forgot my wallet. It's in the car.
I said, oh, remind me to give you the cash. I pulled a Romas. You did this on your birthday.
I did.
No, you did it the day after your birthday. I took you out to Charlie's for your birthday.
I had my wallet then. No, the next day.
The next day, because he had one too many old fashions. Everywhere we went, I forgot my wallet. And I gave you shit about it on the podcast, but it was perfectly fine.
Yeah. So what do we got? Today's Monday.
We have to discuss. We have to discuss.
We got to go back a week, really.
We had a triple passing, not a bypass, not a triple bypass, but a triple passing.
Threes.
The threes. Al, what are we talking about?
Well, we lost Jimmy Carter.
100
president.
Plus years old, like 100 years and 6 months or something like that.
And he 2 years in hospice.
But he was still coherent.
How's that possible, though? I mean,
he wrote a book while in hospice for 2 years.
He did a stand-up tour.
A remarkable human being, even though his 4 years in office.
Not a good president.
Was not.
I think we all know that.
No. And my dad, who was a Democrat, said, he's got to go. And we got to get Reagan in there. We need a bull in the White House. and my father voted Republican.
Well, everyone did in the country.
Yeah,
It was the
yeah.
biggest
And
landslide.
they just did it similar with Trump. A lot of Democrats said,
And
we can't do this.
there is similarity too, because if you remember, Iran released the hostages
the day
Reagan
was inaugurated.
right, and
Sworn in.
the
Sworn in or the day he started?
the day he was sworn in, when he put his hand on the Bible, they were sending him out. And they're saying there's talk of the Israeli hostages and others being released when Trump is inaugurated.
Oh, really? Is that going to happen again? Because I know
That's
Jimmy
what
Carter did go over and get that one guy from North Korea.
Yeah, he did.
Who wandered across the border. Do we know the real story of that? How do you wander across
I don't
the
remember
border
which
from
guy that
South
was.
Korea? Was he an ex-soldier or?
I remember the college student who went to North Korea a couple years ago, and they basically killed him.
Yeah.
Then they put him on a plane
Yeah.
so he could die.
He was in a coma.
Yeah, he could
They
die
put
in a hospital
They
here.
induced him in a coma. And they didn't want him to die over there because of the political issue.
But he was supposedly a college student who wandered over and took a banner.
Stole a banner.
Stole a banner. Again, we don't know real. I mean, he probably was.
He could have been a spy.
But we don't exactly. Exactly.
And it's all cover up.
Yes.
'Cause
So,
we-
you know,
But the other guy wandered across the border. You don't get too far across the border between North and South Korea. How does South Korea allow you to wander?
I never buy
Is
it.
it like the neutral zone?
Yes, and I don't. There's military and fencing, and so what they say about wandered across the border. I don't know. I mean, that's and if you're an American over the age of 12, wouldn't you know not to go to North Korea?
There's signs, barbed wire, there's guys with rifles.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You've seen Kim Jong Un, right?
You've seen him. You've seen his hairdo.
Yeah.
It's a hair don't.
I mean, so.
All the leaders do it. Even Donald. He's got, not all the leaders, but Donald's got
haircut.
the bushy eyebrows and the funky hairdos.
Yeah.
It's all signature. You know, the orange thing and it's tanner or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all by design to make you focus on them, so that your enemies will go, look at him, he looks like an idiot, and then the people support him, goes, he's great. It's all about getting eyes on you. So if you make a spectacle of yourself, in that sense, it draws attention, and in theory, you'll get more camera time, you'll get more power.
Really? You think Trump's haircuts on purpose?
I think it's all by design.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
the look, make
Could
him
be.
look different,
He looks different.
right? I don't know. It's a theory. I
about Putin?
I talk like I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, we know.
We know.
We know. I just let you go with it. But Putin, he's kept that look of KGB. He likes that look. He looks like a KGB agent from 1970.
But the shirtless horseback riding, is terrible.
Of course.
Judo. Ooh.
But if you remember when John McCain was running for president, the last, real type of hero type guy would run for president. Of course, he wasn't elected. But anyway, they asked him about Putin, and he said, "When I look at Putin, I see 3 letters, KGB." And everybody's like,
100%.
"Oh, wait, we like Putin. He's a good guy. Don't do that." And meanwhile, now it's been proven out 1,000 times Putin's a terrorist, and John was right.
Well, he was he
was
won
right on the
by
money.
over 90% of the votes.
Yeah, they love him there.
Yeah.
He's very popular.
I was talking to a waiter who's it was at Dangerfields, and he got into the country. He's legal now, but he got into the U.S. and he goes, as soon as we're barely 18, we're in the Army, and they just keep sending us to fight wars until we're in our mid to late 30s, and half of us don't come home. And he goes, enough of that. He goes, it's crazy.
Did you ever see that picture? It's, I think, Reagan with the fall of the Berlin Wall, and there's KGB agents there.
Gorbachev,
And there's
tear down that wall.
There's a young Putin in the picture.
background.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's there. These guys are all like
Isn't
zealots.
he
They're
like
all,
27 or something?
He's a
like
young
that?
guy, but it's like What the fuck's he doing there?
And you can tell he's not there going, oh, the president did it. He's like,
no. He's
studying.
He's full KGB right there.
Evil genius might work that title with him. He's not dumb.
No.
Very
He's not dumb at all. And look what he did. I mean, if you were Russian...
I'm not admiring him. I'm just saying
if you were
he's
Russian,
not dumb. You can't say he's crazy.
Think about it. When he was a young guy, though, it was Stalin and the guy before... What was the guy before? Brezhnev. Yep. They were powerful. They were...
Iron.
And then Gorbachev made them into these pussies. And then the guy... So it was perfect for a guy like Putin...
Perfect timing.
To rise, but he's taken it, again, too far.
But just to say that they're a democracy is...
No, he's
that's the big... Yeah. That's the biggest joke of
all.
Well,
and if you disagree with him, you generally end up dying a slow, painful death.
Yeah.
You know, he likes to poison people.
And shoot them out of the sky when you're on a jet.
That one, yeah, you know.
Why was he flying?
Was that proven? Is that allegedly? Is that allegedly? So Jimmy Carter's
who were
gone,
the other two?
100 years old.
100 years old. Who were the other people that we lost?
Well, today I believe we lost Linda Lavin.
Linda Lavin from very famous television show based on a movie. What was the name?
Early to bed, early to rise. In between I cooked and cleaned and went out of my mind. Alice.
And the name of the movie was?
Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore.
So the television series was based on a book or a screenplay, which was based on a movie.
Who directed Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore? It's a weird...
Was it someone like Spielberg or something?
Scorsese,
that's right.
Directed Alice. What a weird...
Yeah, it's like, hey...
Mob movies, a diner waitress.
Well, he wasn't completely established
right.
on that genre yet. He had done Mean Streets. He wanted to do other projects, so what happens with these deals is you get a 5-picture deal, you go, okay, you got to direct this one, and it became a critically acclaimed, right? It was it did well?
It did well enough to spin it off to a TV series. So yeah, I mean,
we got a lot of a lot of truck loading.
Yeah, it's a Monday morning.
But he's lifting up the ramp and everything. That means that they're going to be taking off soon.
He's ramping it up. Bless you.
He's ramping it up.
Just a little COVID.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm 6 feet away from where I sneeze from anybody, but I'm right on top of you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, I just signed.
You just walked off a ship. No way you could have gotten COVID.
I just signed my master contract for 2025 for a certain cruise line, and they still had the old verbiage from COVID-19 in there that I will get a test, that I will get all that, and I'm like, I didn't even bother reading the whole contract because I was saying, if they still have this in here, this is the same contract that I've been signing for years. So I just went initials, signatures, DocuSign, off it went. Now watch, they added something in there where it's like, you get a 50% cut in pay.
You're working for quite a bit less money this year. Thank you.
You got to work in the galley for 2 nights out of your contract.
You got to do Liars Club.
I admit this. I enjoy Liars Club, but I'm dedicated to it, and I write stuff for it.
Yeah.
And the cruise directors steal it.
Yeah.
But you called me and said, "Hey, they just threw it on me. They want me to do a Liars Club tonight."
That was great.
He goes, "What do you got?" And I just went, "Here."
Yeah, that was great.
And he goes, "I was 75%, right? 3 out of 4 hit." I'll take that. I was hoping 1 hit.
So was I.
I was hoping you get on base.
I was hoping.
So he was the life of the Liars Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should buy me my cappuccino.
I did. That was. I had a fun one though, because one of the words was lobcock. You know, the liars, how they make these words, and you have to define it, and it's
they're like, real words.
Whose line is it anyway? What you stood up at the end? No, well, to tell the truth.
Right.
But anyway, there we go. We're gonna at the end of the podcast.
Cisco refrigerated delivery truck for the restaurant right across the way here. Now,
even at 11 a.m., people are taking pictures under the sun.
Yeah, they're still doing it.
Influencing. Maybe we'll get a picture on the way out so we could put it up here.
Yeah, you go to this Brazilian steakhouse across the way here, Texas de Brazil.
Let's stay online here. I mean, on focus. So
We're staying on focus. We
Jimmy
had
Carter.
Linda Lavin and the third one.
So wait, Linda. Yeah. So and then I think I've told this joke already on the pod, probably, but
Dude,
it's fine.
repeat a joke.
We've had 320.
we need more jokes. Repeats are welcome.
I can't think of his name now. The older comedian
Older comedian.
from LA, Comedy Store, started around with Letterman, was doing cruise ships 15 years ago, and guy with a guitar, funny one-liners, weird hair.
Gary Mule Deer.
Gary Mule Deer. Very good.
That was a good pull.
That was a good pull. Very nice. He had a joke. He still does the joke. That's what I loved about it.
I'm going to be doing it tomorrow night.
We're in the year 2007. He'll go, a scene from my favorite movie. Then he walks over to the side of the stage with Wood. Alice. 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 That's the whole joke.
He doesn't even say the second
say
part.
Alice doesn't live here.
Someone answers it and says, she doesn't live here
He
anymore.
just does it for like 2 minutes, and it's kind of silent in the theater. Alice.
See, I love shit like that.
But it's great as
The
it
commitment,
stays,
the
and
commitment.
then it's like 20 seconds, and you think it's over. One more, like Alice, like you would.
And
do
you can
that.
always do a callback to it if you
Yeah,
want,
hilarious.
later on.
But he wrote that joke in 1975.
It still works if you're over 50. 48.
Yeah,
48.
I would say it still works in quotes.
No, yeah.
I laughed my ass off.
Well, if you know your audience,
But-
if you're doing the villages
Yeah.
where people are in their 70s and 80s, it's going to kill. Not kill, but it's
Not kill.
going to get a chuckle.
Yeah,
You know.
I could see though when the movie was big and it came out, that must have been a great
Oh,
joke.
absolutely.
Alice, it's great.
It's hard to when you get a bit like that it does so well to give it up. But everything, a lot of material is not evergreen.
No.
But the commitment he had of still doing it in 2007 is hysterical to me.
It is. It was great. But sometimes you get rid of bits, and we both probably have, but I've done it where my Biggie Wendy's, I get rid of that. I was like, I can't do it anymore. It's played out. I hate it. And then I would be at post office or the bank somewhere, and people go, hey, Biggie, because I was doing a lot of Tampa shows. And I thought, what am I doing getting rid of something that people remember? You know what I mean? Even though I don't like
Right.
it. But I'd go on the ship, and Mike, the cruise director, is like,
You didn't do the
doing
bit."
Biggie. Why don't you do Biggie? I'm like, really? All right.
hey,
so if people like it,
If it's
not
hitting
my,
if it's hitting 50%, that's you got to keep it.
right? But but then you fall in the line of comedians today.
Yeah.
You got to dump your act. You got to always have, which is great. But we're from the time of you don't get rid of
the
a
sure
bit that
hits.
works.
You got the sure hits.
I can't get rid of it.
I always throw a number on that. I got my 8 to 12 bits that they'll change slightly over time, but they're bits. And some people want to come back and hear it again. We were talking about this, how certain comedians, I'll throw a bunch of Boston names out there, the Don Gavins, the late Kevin Knox, they would do these bits and people would come back and say, oh, you got to come see Kevin Knox. He does this whole thing about blah, blah, blah. And he'd bring 6 people with him. And then they'd come back over and over again, waiting to hear that one particular bit.
Yeah.
And then they'll come up to him, hey, you didn't do the bit
It is
tonight.
yeah.
He goes,
well,
I
we get
can't do
that
it
from
every
the
night."
ships where
Yeah.
people enough see you, like when these pinnacles and these people who've cruised 150 times. A lot of times for me, because I have the restless legs joke bit, but I only do it one night in the theater at the end of the cruise. And they come to the club and then they'll come in the hallway and they go, we came here to hear you do the restless legs. And then I go, well, I don't do it in here. I'll do it in the last time in the theater. So it goes against the thinking of get rid of material, because we have people who do want to hear these bits.
The greatest hits.
And if you have always new material, which would be great. I'm not saying I wouldn't love to have a new act every year.
Bill Burr.
Right. But there would be times where people, especially on ships, would go, how come you do the candle store bit? And you're like, well, I don't do it anymore. You know, like Jeff Dunham said he does arenas, the ventriloquist, but he looks at it like, I put my set together as if people are buying a ticket to a concert, a band. There's certain songs you got to hear.
You got to hear the greatest hits.
And he goes, I want to do new stuff, but you got to put in the hits.
We went to go see Van Morrison in concert. It's like 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
And he decided he wanted to do his entire new album, which was not well received.
Mm-hmm.
1 hour. 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 1 hour all up front. So we're listening to 45 minutes,
Not
50
cool.
minutes.
Not cool, Van.
I'm like, dude, open up with a biggie.
Give me Moonlight.
Do 3 or 4, throw Moonlight in the middle, mix it up.
Yeah.
And he was like, because he's such a mega star, his ego, give the people, dude, there's fucking 15,000 people here. Give them what they want. Do your new material, do your whole album.
The Kings wrote
and
an
break
album.
break it up. Here's another one from the new album. Don't just do the whole album without saying anything. People going, what is this? What are we listening
That's the
to?
worst.
It was awful.
I saw the Cars when they toured the first album. They didn't say a word.
Just did the album.
It was like listening to a CD.
Yeah.
They just stood there. They didn't move. They didn't talk.
No.
They played the album.
No patter.
No patter.
Just
Nothing.
patter. That's when, for those of you who don't know, most of you do.
Oh, look at Al.
I'm not being
mansplaining.
condescending.
Mansplaining.
It's the little.
Condescend me, motherfucker.
No, because there's some people go, oh, what does patter mean? What does patter mean? And they won't look it up. The people I like is when you hear a word or something, I like to go research it if I can remember to do it, and then all of a sudden, oh, I know all this extra stuff. I don't retain it.
No, I was gonna say you should be a lot smarter then.
No, I'm
looking
like
all
a
this shit up.
goldfish. I'm like, oh, patter. What? Oh, what's patter?
Patter. Yes.
Yeah. Did you see my goldfish? See, if you have the Patreon, you're gonna see the gills and the fins moving. This is my goldfish.
Do you do that when you open the family show? Do you go down and do a goldfish for the kids?
I go down and do a goldfish for the kids.
That sounds dirty.
Sometimes
that sounds like a euphemism.
For the adult show, I do a piranha.
Hey now, I'll piranha that front row. Yeah.
I go right there. Hello, ladies.
Ladies.
So here we are.
Oh, one more though. So we lost Jimmy Carter. We lost Linda Lavin. And who was the third?
Greg Gumbel.
Greg Gumbel.
CBS sports announcer for many, many decades. Brother to the famous Bryant Gumbel. But a lot of people forget Bryant Gumbel, and they know Greg more because he stayed on television.
Did
with
Bryant
CBS.
leave because he was just a giant asshole? Like everyone.
Bryant.
That it seems to be he was an arrogant asshole.
Very arrogant.
That people didn't want to work with.
I had an in-person meeting with him.
What do you mean?
More than once.
Let's
Bryant
hear it.
Gumbel. I was working at the video store in New York City on 2nd Avenue and 59th Street, and Bryant was living in one of those mega condos nearby, and he would come in and get movies for the weekend.
Were you doing comedy yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
not successful.
They didn't have Uber.
Okay. So you had the video
I was living in New
job
York
and you
City.
were a comedian.
I had a roommate, and I was trying to get it going, man.
Yeah.
That's just mean, man.
I had the roommate in New York City. I didn't work in a video store. So that's why I was asking if you were in comedy yet.
That's because you were blowing guys in the alley.
Whatever.
On the next, Blowing Guys in the Alley,
You know,
starring Al Romas.
Some people work in a video store. Some guys blow guys in an alley.
See, in the video store at the time, VHS, I was getting free movies, which is a large part of my comedy act. I have a whole section of movie trivia and whatnot. And I had
Movie
access
trivia?
to all these classic
You have
films.
a large section of movie trivia?
Well, it's much smaller than it used to be, but yes.
It's
It's a part of my
movie trivia?
repertoire, yes.
All right.
Well, why are you going to bash me?
I'm not just saying. It sounds like I have a large section of movie trivia.
And by the way,
like-
I'm fine-tuning my
Okay.
restless legs bit.
Good.
And I haven't done it on stage yet.
Send it
but,
to me when you get
I've
it.
been I'm watching your clips.
When you get it perfected, send it
I'm
to
trying to
me.
make it my own. What I'm doing is, in order to take the restless legs bit that you do, and it does very well, by the way,
Thank
I
you.
reverse the order of it. I tell
Oh.
it backwards.
Oh, it's not bad.
And I'm not getting quite the laughs,
Uh-huh.
well, because I haven't tried it out yet.
Yeah.
But I like it.
It's not bad, though. I like it. I like to see any... Wouldn't you like to see someone do your act? And what they would do with it? Like a cover.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be... I'd
be
love
awesome.
that, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
When we did the whole year on Icon, and Simeon and Polo Gata and I were saying that. We go, at the end of the year, we'll do each other's act.
We
Yeah.
did a bit in someone else's act. Comedians,
Who did?
Tom Cotter, Justin McKinney, a couple of other guys. We were saying, okay, one night we were goofing around, probably an open mic or something. We're gonna do the other guy's material and see how they do. You know, our favorite bits of the other guy, and we butchered it.
Yeah.
But we're all laughing in the back. The audience is going, "What the fuck's going on here?"
Yeah.
But it was open mic.
I'd like to do like like Tom Cotter's act would be fun to do. Just constant joke.
Oh yeah,
joke,
it's like
no
a Gatling
bits.
gun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Reload.
What I love about that act too is if you're not going over, he just switched gear, do another jokes, no more jokes. Where if you and we start a bit, and it's
Committed.
not going over, this bit's 2
Yeah.
minutes long here. I'm gonna fucking die.
I have
rattling jokes.
I have like 3 versions of, because I do vignettes, and I have 3 versions. I have
Vignettes?
the
Ooh.
yes, I have the short, medium, and long.
That's a
and the
fancy
short
word for
means
what you do,
the
right?
short one means it's not going over.
Vignettes.
Vignettes.
That's a fancy word.
I'm
some
I'm
stand-up.
performing one of the lost arts, Al.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're lost for a reason.
But when your audience gets younger, they don't have a reference, so they
Ah.
think you're a fucking genius.
I see.
And then the other people going, what's this old fucking shit?
What's this guy doing a goldfish in front of me? It's fucking weird. There it is again. There's the clip.
There's your clip.
Just do that. Here, I'll get other. Do. There's the. There we
There it
go. You want viewers? There it is.
So we talked about the people that we lost, famous
So that
people.
was Brian Gumble,
Linda Lavin,
Linda Lavin,
and it was Greg Gumbel,
Greg Gumble. Sorry,
the brother.
Sorry, Greg.
And of course the former president Jimmy Carter, who became quite the humanitarian after his debacle 4 years in office. But
I believe he was an admiral in the Navy.
What, did he make?
I think he made admiral.
Really, I didn't know he ranked that high, but he did serve.
Yeah.
Tremendous career. He's written
Yeah.
many books. One
Great
on
guy.
poetry,
Great guy.
building house. He was swinging a hammer.
Should have been a president.
He was swinging a hammer in his 90s, building the what is it? The Habitat.
Yeah.
Homes.
Humanity,
Yeah.
habitats. I mean, I don't know if I want to, just to be honest, I don't know if I want to live in a house where a 90-year-old guy put it together, but I like the idea of it.
At least it had a ramp.
Right, but honey, things leak in here. Who fucking built this piece of shit? It's like some 90-year-old guy built this fucking house. Well, yeah. So,
But it wasn't just.
maybe they just let him hammer and then
well,
they go,
it wasn't
all right,
just,
get out
no,
of here.
it wasn't just for the cameras. That's the thing.
Maybe it should have been.
It should have been.
Yeah.
In his case, when he hit 80,
Yeah.
it should have been just for the cameras.
And cut.
And cut. Take it one more time from this angle.
No,
and,
I want a hammer, reel
No,
it. Yeah, Jimmy, you're done.
No, he would like wear the bandana around his neck with the hat, and they're like, Mr. President. And they still call him Mr. President, as they should.
You do it for the rest of your life, you get that.
Yeah. A couple of times in interviews with Mr. Trumpy, they would say they wouldn't give him the president title in it.
Oh.
It bugged me just a little bit because
Well, yeah, I know what you mean.
you should give that to anybody.
Right, he won. But yeah, CNN things, they'll go Trump. They'll just say Trump.
Well, they were saying it towards the end when they knew that Harris wasn't going to win. But I'm like, I know you hate him and you lean to the left,
Right.
but show the respect that you're asking for.
Yeah. And when the whole
You're
country...
asking for, you're saying he's not presidential. Show them what you're asking for. Otherwise, you become one of them. Sorry.
No, it's a good
I'm
point.
not really political. I'm just.
That's
I'm
what you,
I'm
that's what
saying
you
the
say
things
every
that,
week. These, I didn't bring a lighter because I didn't know
Yeah,
it was
these
having a
matches
cigar.
are not doing it. Put 3.
Matches
Use
are,
3.
matches are tough.
One's not going
Tough
to do
sledding.
it. It's not going to do it, dude. You're not doing it right. You're a mess, and we got to wrap this up soon because this is a shorty. Short cigars.
I got it.
You got it? Wow, you're a pro.
I think I got it.
I burned myself. I burned myself for you. Anyways, sorry. What else do we want to cover before we? That was me spitting to the side because I got a little tobacco on my tongue.
Well, you're heading home, so you're gonna do New Year's Eve. What's any plans? What are you doing? Because
I'm going to someone's house New
The
Year's
wife
Day
won't be
for
home
a
yet.
cookout, which is going to be indoors because it's still cold in
what
Los
about New
Angeles.
Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve.
When the balls drop.
I have a group of people that are non-comedians. We call them civilians.
Ugh.
And they all want to go out.
Ugh.
And
Civilians.
And these people can throw them back. They look for excuses. Hey, it's noon. You know, they look, and they're great people, but there's a lot of peer pressure. Come on, we're doing a shot. I'm like, I'm
Right.
not 25. I don't know if you knew that or not. I'm 26.
Are they? Are these folks much younger? What are you getting disgusted?
A decade.
You just vomit? What the hell was that? What was that?
My V cut it's actually a double V cut. I'm getting a couple of chunks of the tobacco.
Double V.
Yeah, the one that you did for me was off to the side.
Perfect.
It looked like an old hooker's
Now you're
vagina.
You got. I don't get that up close and personal when the older hookers. So you're not going to go to this shindig? You're going to pass on it because
I'm poking around for either
better
see what
offer?
other people are doing.
Waiting for a better offer.
It falls into that category. It's just my tolerance, and I could change my mind. I could be very much into it the day of. What the hell? But I always set myself out. I go, what time are you guys meeting? Because I have something beforehand, and I can meet up with you. I'll do that so I have an out.
Okay.
My wife's going to be out of
Home
town.
Alone New Year's Eve is not bad.
No, it's underrated.
That is not bad.
You know, for a couple of decades in my early comedy career, I was always booked on New Year's Eve, and I would pay double, triple, sometimes way more than that. And that's the only time I would go, because nobody wants to work that as a comedian on New Year's Eve. It's horrible. How many times did they put the noisemakers out on a table in the back of the comedy club, and they tell people no noisemakers until 11:45.
It used to be almost
and people
all
would
of them.
grab and go during your act. You're on stage at 11:20.
It used to be all of them, but the last two I did, they didn't put them out early.
They were handing them out
Which
when they
was
were
great.
taking tickets when people were coming in
Well,
at
that's
10.
crazy. Then you have no shot.
No, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
And they do 2 shows on New Year's, so the first show's real early,
Which is great.
but it's just weird. Then you got to
It's
do it
weird.
again, and now they
The
come
countdown.
in, and they come in with
Did
the
you do the
attitude.
fake
of-
countdown?
We didn't do it. We did the real countdown on stage.
No, I'm talking the early show.
No,
One
no.
time we did the fake.
No,
count. We're all
that's stupid.
pretending. We're all pretending that it's midnight and it's only 8:30.
That's
Yeah, it was dumb. That was another dumb one.
We got more trucks here.
Yeah, but they're turning off the engines, so.
That's a grease trap lift.
It says
station
grease
maintenance.
demons. They go in and spray the grease off
Line
of the
jetting. Yeah. I
off
got
the appliances in the.
I had
kitchen.
food poisoning.
This guy's sporting a mask inside the F-150.
That's smart.
He's alone
Driving around alone with a mask on.
in Tampa.
What?
Is he a Uber driver? Maybe.
That's a weird vehicle to be Ubering in.
It's a Lariat. It's an F-150, Ford F-150. It's
I don't know.
tricked out leather
Yeah.
and whatnot. Isn't it amazing that my dad's pickup truck, he used to use it to load stuff and go fishing in and all that. And now it's like they're luxury vehicles. They have an F-650, 6 passenger, 6 doors, with 400 gallons of fuel, with like 30-inch tires.
Who's that for?
Sly Stallone.
Wow.
Luxury. It's a workhorse. It's like an electrical cable truck that you do to repair.
Kelly's sister and brother-in-law drove down from Michigan. I don't know what he has. It's new. But in the back, he's got 2 e-bikes, 4 sets of golf clubs, just in the back in the hatch, covered. And then in the back of the car, they had all their luggage. They brought 2 dogs, all the bedding.
They brought the
snacks.
dogs?
2 dogs, yeah. We have 3
And
dogs
Teddy?
at the condo right now.
And 4 adults?
4 adults.
You better get on a ship. All right, we got to wrap it up here.
Wrap it up. I gotta. Oh yeah, it's noon. Oh shit.
Oh, I got to go.
Gotta go.
Adios, everybody. Thanks for listening.
So long now. Have a good trip.
Iceberg dead ahead.
Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
This is the 2 Owls, 1 Pod podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
All right.
Okay, so.
Subscribe. Mary, this was a horrible mistake.
Patreon.com/2owls1pod.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money.
Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.